Hey everybody, I'm just making this video to tell you about an experience that I had yesterday. Yesterday I went to, was it yesterday? It was yesterday or the day before yesterday. I think it was the day before yesterday. Anyway, I went to the store to pick up some products at the store. And when I go into this store, it's usually at night, and I see the exact same guy that rings me up every time. And when I came into the store this night, he looked at me in the most weird way and looked at me up and down when he's seen me before, but this day he looked at me like he has seen me only for the very first time. And then I walk into the store, and when I walk in, I notice that he's like reading a magazine or something, but as soon as I walk in and he looks at me in this weird way, he gets up and he goes to the back of the store to pretend like he's arranging some products. So obviously he was doing it because someone told him probably, watch this person because he steals. Have I ever stolen or have I ever stayed in this store a long time? No, I haven't. But the reason why it happened was because the people who are tracking me as a targeted individual, they're very much aware that I go into the same store all of the time. And it's a small store. It's like a convenience store, kind of like a 7-Eleven store. And they told this guy to obviously watch me, and I'm pretty sure it was the people, well, not pretty sure, I know that it was the people, I say the military because that's how it started when we became targeted individuals, but I know that it was the American government and the military responsible for sending the message so that this guy looks at me weirdly. And when I checked out, I waited for him to finish with the other customer, and I told him in Arabic that I'm not a thief. Then I told him that I'm Christian, and I told him that I have money and I don't have to steal from his store. And then he gave me the lamest excuse and told me that it was because he was very tired and he's had a long day and all this other stuff, but he didn't mean any harm, when I know for sure that that's not the case. This is what the military does. They go and tell people at different establishments that they know that you go into regularly. They go and they tell them that you're a bad person and to watch you, so that when you go into a store, whether it be a department store, Walmart, wherever, you will have a bad experience and you will constantly be watched when you've done nothing wrong. You can have the cleanest criminal record and you could never ever have been charged with committing a misdemeanor, but yet they will attribute this label to you so that whenever you come into the store, people are alerted and they know what you look like, so that it makes you seem like you're a thief. And the way I see it is like this: even if I were a thief, this guy should have enough, I guess, respect for me, because he's talked to me before in the past and we've held a conversation. He should have enough respect for me to know that, nobody's perfect, but yet he initially saw something that made him be nice to me. He saw something in me that made him feel that it was okay to be friendly to me. And then all of a sudden something changes. The reason why I'm making this video is because I'm basically trying to show you that a lot of these people in the world who you think are your friends, or a lot of people in the world who you think are good people and friendly people, they aren't. It just takes a word from someone of authority to be spoken into their ear for them to change the way they see you. A lot of people you think are good and are for you, the moment a police officer tells them something about you, the moment someone in the military tells them something about you, or anyone who's in authority tells them something about you, even if they don't have the proof, because it's coming from someone who's higher in authority, they will always believe that person over you. If that were me, I would be a little bit different. If someone told me about someone else and said, oh, this person is a shoplifter, or this person is a bad person, or this person has done bad things in the past and that's why we're after this person, honestly, I would say, wow, really? And I'm a good person, I'm not a person who lives a life that's not ethical. I'm a very ethical person, but I understand that not everybody's at where I'm at. And, to each his own. I hope they get it worked out, whatever. But if I heard the police officer or the military tell me that I needed to watch someone, like they told the guy in the store that he needed to watch me, if someone told me this, I would not treat them differently. If I like, For me, if I like you from the get go, I will always like you. I will always treat you with respect. Even if I feel like you're guilty, I will always treat you with fairness and respect until I see something. And even when I see something, I'm not going to treat you bad or make it seem like I'm superior to you because I've caught you doing something bad. Yeah, I'm going to tell you can't steal, for example. And yeah, I'm going to tell you that what you're doing is wrong. And please pay for it or put it back. And if you don't have money to buy anything, leave. I will say that, but I'm not gonna make anyone. I'm not gonna treat anyone differently just because someone else told me that this person is a bad person. That's how you know someone's smart in the world and from someone who's dumb. That's how you know whether or not someone is awakened. Because if someone is awakened, they will be able to understand that no one is perfect. They would also be able to understand that everyone has different struggles. And they would also be able to understand that you can't believe everything you hear. And even if this one person is bad in one area of their life, they could be the same person to save your life down the road. They can be the same person to be friendly to you or save you from getting robbed from someone walking down the street a month from now. You know what I mean? People that treat you like you're inferior because they've been told something negative about you, they act like they're perfect, and they act like there's no one in their family who's ever done a damn thing wrong in their entire life. They act like you are the first bad person that they've ever seen, and if you weren't in their society, or if you weren't in their environment or in their space, they would never, ever, ever have to worry about seeing or being around any wrongdoer in this entire world. They act like you're the very first person who does wrong out of all of the people who they've ever met in their entire life. And that is delusional thinking, that is unacceptable thinking, and that is the result of people who have their heads in the clouds. People who think like this are the people who have been sheltered mentally their entire life. These are the people who go about and look at police officers as if they're perfect. These are the people who look at military personnel as if they're perfect. Yet, at the same time, they forget that no one is perfect. And even people who wear the police uniform, the medical uniform, the judge suit, the lawyer suit, the fire department uniform, all of these people, they have a tendency to do wrong. The only thing that put them in their position is their physical endurance to join the military. The only thing that made them police officers is the fact that they were able to pass a test, and they perhaps had the right connections in order to be able to get the job. The only thing that made them capable of being a doctor or a lawyer is the fact that they were resilient and diligent, and they never gave up. Since when does being resilient, diligent, and being someone who never give up mean that you're automatically a moral person? A lot of people in the world who hold people in high regard and think that there are certain people out there who can never make mistakes, they aren't thinking rationally, and they don't even realize that they're not thinking rationally. They're very comfortable in the thoughts to think that doctors are perfect, lawyers are perfect, police officers are perfect. All of these people are perfect. And the people who are doctors, lawyers, police officers, and whatever, they love that society looks up to them. And they know that they can do wrong and they'll never be questioned because of their professional and role. And they know that, sadly, the world thinks that their role dictates their virtue and their ethics when that's not the case. So this guy, I just was in my room just thinking about him and thinking about, I've come into this store 3 times and you've never looked at me weird. And the 4th time I come in, and I come in at the same time every day, you look at me like I'm worthless and like I'm an alien and like I don't deserve to be in your store and I can't be trusted, and you get up and do the same thing that people do in the United States. When they see a black person come into the store, they go around and follow him around the store. Was this guy following me? No, but he definitely was at the back of the store where he could have an unobstructed view of me and what I was doing to determine if I was going to steal something. And I do have a problem with that. And I told him in Arabic that I'm not a thief, I'm Christian and all of this stuff. And then he tried to put the guilt trip on, not the guilt trip, but he tried to make it seem like I'm exaggerating, and no, I would never think that about you. I know you're a good person, blah, blah, blah. But looks, they tell the truth. And I know for a fact that this is what was going on. Do I seriously expect him to say, yeah, I'm following you? Someone has told me something negative about you. Someone told me not to trust you. Someone told me you're a bad person. Someone told me that you come into places and you shoplift. Did I expect him to tell me that? No, I did not. Because no one would do that. Cowards wouldn't do it, and quite honestly, there are even some people who are not cowards who would not do that and be upfront about being told something negative about me and how they need to watch me when I come into the store. But the reason why I told him that was not because I wanted him to believe me necessarily, but I wanted him to know that yes, I saw the way you looked at me, I saw what you did by going to the back of the store, and I want you to know that I noticed it. And the next time I do go into the store, I'm going to make sure that all that shit he told me about, I was sleepy, I'm tired, if I'm not as friendly today, it's because of this, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to make sure that I make it known that his words in the last conversation that we had meant nothing. And it's not that I'm necessarily so set on paying someone back, because I'm not. But when I'm targeted from America to every country that I go, and when someone treats me bad because they think that they're superior to me because of what they've been told about me when they haven't seen it for themselves, that is where the problem comes in. I am not a superior person, and I have to remind myself, and I remind you, if you're watching this video, that if you're a targeted individual, you are not inferior, you're superior, because why would the government be doing these things to you if you were inferior? Why would the government mess with you? Why would they track you everywhere you go? Why would they tap your phones? Why would they tap your computers? Why would they make it where you can't get a job? They want to shut you out of the world because you're not a part of going and conforming to the things that everyone else does. They want you to be a robot so that you're easier to control, because all robots act and behave in the same way and they go in the same direction. And if you're a free thinker, you're not a robot, and you're not one to act the same way and to go in the same direction. And that is where the problem comes in, because that means that you use the mind that God has given you, and you think the way you're meant to think. And that is not what they want. People don't just become targeted individuals because they're black or because they're white or because they're a minority in some way. They become a targeted individual because the government has watched them, and the government has deemed them to be a threat to what is going on in the agenda of today's world. Targeted individuals become targeted individuals because they uphold ethics and because they're very smart to think in a way that will allow them to be able to bring about positive changes in the world if they ever have an open door at the right place at the right time. That is why you're targeted. You're not targeted because you're bad or because you're not worthless or because, when you came out of your mother's womb, there was something wrong with you to where the government is trying to make you right or to control you so that you're not a risk to society. No, you're a targeted individual because you're above average. And quite honestly, you're something that is well above average into the fact that there's no word to describe who you are. You have to remember who you are. Don't let anyone tell you who you are. Don't let anyone make you feel like you're inferior. You're superior. And when the next time you go into any fucking store or any place and someone tries to make you feel like you don't deserve to be there, or to make you feel like you are worthy of being tracked around the store, you stand up to yourself, for yourself, and you hold your head high and you remind yourself of who you are. Remind yourself of how you became a targeted individual. What is it that broke the camel's back in your life and in your social life and in your professional life that resulted in you becoming a targeted individual? What did you do that they didn't like that made you be entered into this program? Don't you dare walk with your head low. Don't. You represent the rest of us who are targeted individuals. If there's anything that you need to know, it's to have faith in who you are as a person and to know who you were before you became targeted and how well liked you were in society and how much of a contribution you were in society. Remind yourself of the smiles that you were able to put on the faces of others because of the good things that you did. Don't allow anyone to come and make you think that you're not worth it. and that you're worthless and that you're unemployable because of a shortcoming that you have. You're unemployable really because there's no place that you can fit in, because every place you go into, you will shake things up as it relates to ethics, and you will go against the system that is in place. Think about it. The last time you were in your job, the majority of the people who you worked around were mediocre or below average, well below average. You were probably the oddball, and that is the reason why you're targeted and they're not. The government has them where they want them, but the government doesn't have you where the government wants you. That's why you're going through this persecution, because you're a good person, because you're a hard-working person, because you're an atypical person. So the next time someone tries to look down on you, you hold your head up and you walk straight and know that wherever you are, you have a right to be there. And don't let anyone take it from you. Those people who buy into all that bullshit that they're being told about you, those are the dummies in the world. I don't care how well they're dressed. I don't care how ethical and friendly they seem when you first meet them, and sometimes they can put you off. When you see them and see how friendly they are to you before they're told anything, you try to give yourself a benefit of a doubt and take it easy on them. When you see that, they've been informed of something regarding you that's not true. But no, you have to start seeing these situations the way they're meant to be seen. Even if the person was friendly to you when they first met you and they change to become nasty to you because of what they've been told, that is just a revelation for you. That is you being able to see the truth. You're able to see what they are really like. Perhaps they think that they're making the right decisions, but at the same time, do we seriously live in a world where people are so weak to where they think that it's acceptable and okay to criticize someone else, even if they think that person is doing wrong? Do they think that it's okay for them to look down and to sneer at someone and to make a nasty look and to show negative body language and to follow them around the store because they've been told that the other person is bad? Should it be that easy for people who think that have been told that they're better than you? Should it be that easy for them to change their personality at the drop of a pen and treat you like you're worthless when a few days prior they were treating you with respect? Do we live in a society where there's so many people out there who are dying to feel like they are superior or to feel like they're valuable until they're waiting to someone who they can put under their feet and feel like they're superior to them? There are a lot of people in this world. They may seem right on the outside, but when you're a targeted individual, you come to learn what people are truly, truly like, even if they are friendly and seem like the best people in the world from the get-go. We live in the world where everyone wants to ignore the fact that there are people who are doing many bad things in this world. They want to ignore the fact because they don't want to look at what everyone else in the world is doing. They want to look at you and what they've been told about you. And if they have the opportunity to feel superior to you, and if they have the opportunity to treat you like you're inferior to them because they've been told something negative about you, that's not okay. That's not okay. What about their brothers and their sisters and their aunts and their uncles and their people down in their bloodline, such as their grandparents, who did crazy, disgusting things to get ahead and to kill other people who they didn't like? What about the people in their bloodline who did things before human rights was a thing, to take away the lives of other innocent individuals who were not a part of their in-group, culturally speaking? What about their brother who does, or their sister, or their mothers, or their fathers, or their aunts and their uncles who do crazy stuff to get ahead professionally so that they can stomp on someone else who's innocent, and so that they can get the promotion that they want to get ahead, so that they can get the professional recognition that they want to get ahead, so that they can get financial incentives to get ahead? No one is talking about that. When people look at you badly because they've been informed of you as a targeted individual, they really, really do treat you like you're the only person in the fucking world that's done anything wrong. But whenever they do that, remember that they have family members, and there are things that their family members do that they don't know about. And there are also things that their family members do that they do know about. But regardless of whether or not they know about it or not, trust me, you are God compared to the people in their family. The people that are so quick to judge you are those that definitely need to be judged and put back in their places. Don't let anyone make you feel inferior or fearful about going into a place of business when you have a right to be there. Don't let any fucking police officer make you feel like you're the scum of the world when quite honestly they are. And as a targeted individual, I've come to learn that regardless of if I'm in the United States, if I'm in Germany, if I am in France, if I'm in Spain, if I'm in the United Arab Emirates, yeah, even the Muslim world, if I'm in Egypt, wherever, if I'm here in Lebanon, no matter where I am, if I'm in Jordan, wherever, police officers love money and they do things that suggest that they feel that they're above the law. And I just want to let you know that there's no such thing as a good person unless the person is a targeted individual. Repeat that 3 or 4 times. There's no such thing as a good person unless the person is a targeted individual. There's no such thing as a good person unless the person is a targeted individual. And remember that. Remember that. For those people out there who have jobs that you want and feel like you belong in, remember that the majority of those people are people who don't uphold ethics and people who have sacrificed their soul and sacrificed ethics so that they can keep a job in which the majority of them should have never qualified for. The people who do have jobs and who are employed at this time that are not targeted individuals, yeah, they can be good people. But the good people who have jobs in this world and who haven't been pushed out of their position, just consider them targeted individuals in the making. Because if they ever do a good deed to the wrong person, aka someone who's like you, they will face the heat and they probably won't be able to bounce back from it. And I just want to give this message to you because sometimes you need to hear it. You know, a lot of times I think about the things that happen to me and I go and I talk to my mom because my mom gives great advice and she's always good about pumping me up. But I cannot continue to overload my mother with the things that go on with me as a targeted individual, especially when she's going through things on her end as a targeted individual. God bless my mother because she has been there. And regardless of what I tell her and regardless of how repetitive I am about the things that are going on in my life and in the whatever country I'm in as a targeted person, she still listens and she always offers me words of encouragement. And that's what I want to do for you today. I want to tell you about an experience that is on my mind and hopefully I can help someone else. Quite honestly, I do ask that you share this video, and the reason why I want you to share it is because for me, I think my video is blocked. And I think the people who are targeting my channel, they've blocked it to where when people search for it, they're unable to find this video easily on YouTube. So I feel like the easiest way to make sure that other people who are going through this situation have access to the information that I'm putting out is by you sharing my video on their channel. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave a message. If I don't respond to your message, please don't take it personally. There are a lot of fake profiles on here of people who leave messages and they're really gang stalkers who are visiting my channel. And if you have a channel where you make videos, beware of that, by the way. God bless you, and I hope that you have a great morning, afternoon, evening, or whatever. And please review this video when you feel down and when you feel depressed and when you feel like you've experienced a situation that I've talked about in this video. The most important thing is that you pump yourself up so that you can be resilient with whatever realities you're facing as a targeted individual. See you.